Netflix released a little anime called Terminator Zero. Obviously related to the Terminator franchise, in case you didn't know. But real quick fire
Thank God
thoughts.
you mentioned that, because I
We would
did
have
not
been
want
lost.
to
We
thought
would have been
that.
lost for the rest of the review. But yeah, Daniel, you did your homework, right? What did you think of Terminator Zero?
Oh
Part of the
crap! There
Terminator
was homework.
franchise.
Can I get an extension?
Too late.
But no, it's um I didn't know we needed an anime version of Terminator, and here we are. Here we are. I mean, it was it was a fun watch. 8 episodes. I think each episode is like 30 minutes. Very easy watch.
Very.
I watched it all in one night because I had to figure out what happened in the next episode. And it was a really captivating anime. I don't know why it took me so long to say anime. I was like,
you got there.
Yeah.
You got there. That's the important thing. But yeah, I'll second your thoughts. And didn't know that a Terminator anime was missing in my life. But now that it's here, I want more. It was definitely a great watch. It was very, very short, with running at 8 episodes this season, 30 minutes per. But every episode just packed a punch. Delivered a brand new story to the Terminator franchise, like bunch of twists and turns that like just kept you at the edge of your seat. I definitely want to like jump back into this world. Whether or not we will get more remains to be seen. We'll talk more on story details in a minute, but yeah, like for everything from like the animation and yeah, even the characters, like definitely great. This is one of the, I think, only Terminator like stories or whatever that doesn't involve the Connors. Did you miss the Connors at all? They weren't like name dropped at all. They weren't.
I guess I was expecting them to kind of mention it here, but I mean, it's one of those. The story was good enough where I didn't think about them, but
Yeah, it's
I felt like
its own.
it might have mentioned it one time, but especially in the beginning of episode 1, it was the war between the Terminators and the I don't know what you call them, like the resistance group, but yeah, but the Terminator was just killing off all the soldiers, and I thought John Connor would be at least mentioned once, but I guess this one is in a alternative future.
Yeah, one of the many like branching timelines. Definitely on that point. Yeah, so this is one of those where the time travel actually made sense. They took notes, I guess, from Avengers Endgame. I'm sure other media has done it before, but like recently or more known, I guess, would be Avengers Endgame, where someone goes back in time, and when they do go back in time, they don't really change the future. What they do is they just create an alternate timeline. So we have Resistance fighter Aiko, who like comes back in time with like pretty much kind of the same goal in mind of stopping, trying to prevent like Skynet from taking over. Only this time she's trying to prevent a brand new character, Malcolm Lee, from unleashing Kokoro, which is like the brand new AI into this franchise, or it like into at least into this immediate story. So yeah, there's like that little like twist where now not only do we have Skynet to worry about, but we potentially have Kokoro, the brand new AI, to worry about as well.
Which I do like their take on Kokoro. It was like, so in basically the Terminator franchise we had until now, Skynet was the villain, period. It was kind of like the man versus machine, whereas Kokoro was more so an ally to
a potential ally.
So it's kind of like, yeah, potentially. So it's kind of like, it's more so humans working with the machine as opposed to humans at war with the machine.
Yeah, it's like it was interesting that this time around AI wasn't like just black and white, evil versus good kind of thing, AI taking over for the sake of taking over and stuff. Like, I mean, Skynet is still gonna Skynet. They still end up like Judgment Day still ends up happening in most of the world except for Japan, because Kokoro is here in Japan, and she is now actually contemplating as to like whether or not humans deserve to live or die and stuff. So like that's what I meant by she's a potential ally. Not really. She's still very like antagonistic, or very like she's not sure that like whether or not humans like deserve to live, but she's like, at least she's giving humanity a chance, versus like Skynet, they're like, oh no, yeah, you're dead. You are a potential threat to us, and we must eliminate you or terminate you.
Yeah, because that was a big part of the show, like Malcolm kind of debating and trying to convince Kokoro to be like, hey, help us out, help us defeat Skynet. And that was one of the points that Kokoro made, like, hey, the one quality of humans is that you guys are always at war, you guys are always constantly, offing each other, therefore like she even proposed it to Malcolm, or replied to Malcolm like, you even treated me as a weapon. And I think it's just basically Malcolm kind of convincing Kokoro to be like, there's a lot of things you can't calculate, because machines and AI, well, at the moment anyway, even in real time as we live, like AI is a big thing with like ChatGPT and what is it, Midjourney, where it makes images. I think AI still works within certain parameters, but like one thing that like machines, the AI can't, one thing that is a human quality is that we do things that are kind of, you can't really calculate, it's not quantitative. And that's what he's basically trying to convince Kokoro, that it's like, yeah, we might make mistakes, and just in logic alone we probably aren't meant for existence, but there's a lot of human qualities that makes us worthy of existence.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was definitely a very interesting, like, I guess, chess game or chess match, or like a philosophical battle throughout like the whole series. So yeah, we have that front, and on the other front we have Malcolm Lee's kids. It's essentially this story's John Connor. We have Kenta, Reika, and Hiro, I think is the other kid's name. So they are
the oldest brother is the one,
he's
Hiro?
Kenta,
or
yeah,
Kenta. Yeah, he's the one that kind of assisted according to the Terminator.
Yeah. So yeah, let's jump in on that. That's one of the twists from the finale. So obviously the finale, like, everything's up there, everything is like hit the fan at that point, and one of the Terminator robots, what the hell are they called, the T-800s, I think they're just called.
T-800s, I don't know this person, I forget the specific model this one is.
Yeah, well,
T-1000 was the liquid version in Terminator 2.
Yeah,
which is an awesome Terminator 2. If you catch Terminator 0, also catch Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
A Terminator for this discussion. But
because he was technically the only Terminator for the majority of this series.
Yeah, he was definitely like the main like antagonist, or Skynet personified, I guess. So yeah, like towards the end of the franchise, he does like come out and say that Kenta actually broke a deal with Skynet for the, I guess, like survival of the like resistance fighters. So essentially his future self is like working with Skynet. I thought that was like a brilliant twist, especially when Skynet is just known like to be bad, but in this case they're trying to get rid of Kokoro, I guess, like a rifle AI like counterpart. I thought that was interesting. And another thing, Malcolm Lee, he's also from the future, where he created an AI already in the form of Misaki, who turns out, like, she finds out that she's an android as well. But yeah, what did you think? What did you think on that? Like, Misaki, not only did she turn out to be AI as well, but she actually, I guess, is more advanced than Kokoro or Skynet androids, because she actually cares and feels, as opposed to like just like calculates like an android does.
What do I feel about the character?
Yeah, no, yeah. What did you think about like that twist? Because essentially we have like 3 AI counterparts in that sense. We have Misaki, who's a bit more formed from the future. I'm not sure if I'm forming the question right.
If I remember correctly, she was revealed as a robot pretty early, right?
As a robot,
'Cause she had
yes.
her arm ripped off, and then it
Mhm.
revealed that she had like mechanic, like wires and robot parts, if you will. I don't know the
Yeah.
correct terminology, or I don't know the whole autonomy of a robot, but yeah. So um, I guess it's a good. I think the twist is more so like Malcolm. It's in relation to Malcolm. It's like Malcolm created Misaki, and then they both of them came from the future. I think
Mhm.
that was the big twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And Misaki is
am I
essentially Kokoro's mom.
the, yeah. So how do I feel about the twist or the character? I'm sorry, I
I
don't
guess
understand the
both.
question.
Yeah, I don't think I formed the question right or like
Oh, okay.
clearly.
I mean, both are pretty cool. I mean, Mizaki, I'm gonna butcher Mizaki. Is
Yeah,
the name?
Misaki. Yeah.
Mizaki. Yeah, I think it's a good representation of. I think this series in itself has a bunch of philosophical questions because, yeah, even with like technology, where even with you and I, in our world, technology is very imperative because like even let's say something as simple as Google Maps, it's just like who reads an actual paper map anymore? Just like type in an address and it literally
Yeah.
gives you the address, and it made life so convenient. But there's also like the other thought that like technology might be detrimental to us at times. So it's this. I think this kind of this TV series kind of poses that question: is like, is technology good, bad? Because we have a character like Mizaki who has learned human emotion,
Yeah,
even though
she's
she's a
very
machine.
nurturing. Mhm.
Yeah, we also have Kokoro, who's the ultimate logic, which is like, yeah, you want me to work with you? Prove to me that you're worthy of my help. And we have Skynet that's just represents everything that's bad with
Yeah,
AI
you're a
and
threat. Let
technology.
me eliminate you.
Yeah.
Let me
So it's
terminate
just
you.
kind of like it's interesting that we often they bring up the argument of humans are always at war, but in this case, like, yeah, it's like, is war kind of like people being in competition and survival inevitable in life, because even like the machines are kind of fighting with each other. So I think it's an interesting, definitely a big interesting twist on, and a more deeper plot lines and more food for thought in this Terminator than like a lot of the Terminator movies. So it's,
Right.
yeah, that's why I felt this one was very interesting.
Yeah, it definitely does stick with you.